What's good, Gil? King Cosmo here. Today I want to rap a bit about this new PSO2 graphics update that just hit the JP version not too long ago. And what you're all looking at right now is the split gameplay between the new engine and the previous one from the global version. And my experience so far has been nothing short of pure joy. It's not even just because the game looks this good, but it's the little small things that you don't really look into at first glance. Although I did have some people come to me and tell me that the motion blur was a big problem for them, as I do have some friends who have a huge issue with motion blur because it does cause them motion sickness. And the great thing about it is they have the ability to actually turn that off, which is really cool for those players. But it's the little things. So there were a couple of things that I noticed while having my experience with Luster, and I noticed a lot of the visual effects on the game were minimized. And what makes that so great is because one of the things that I always said about PSO2, and Maximilian actually quoted this one time as well, is that at first glance when you're looking at the game, it's very hard to tell what's going on, where you are, your positioning and whatnot. And when you have that and everyone using so many different dark blast and mag abilities, it's very hard to tell where you are, and it's very hard to keep track of what's going on for that boss, especially for people who aren't as experienced or cannot just keep track of what's going on with their human eye. Now with the new update for the new engine and all, it looks really great, and the visual effects have been greatly minimized. So when you're seeing things like Luster finish, you don't hear a lot of the sound effects, you don't see a bunch of swoosh slashes all over the place. You do, but it's really minimized, it's dumbed down to the point where you can kind of tell what's going on. It makes the game feel a lot more fluent. It makes the attack seem there's a lot more power to it, if that makes any sense. I just felt like I had more control over my character than what I normally would have in the previous PSO that we're experiencing now in NA. Now, that being aside from just having these graphic options, I did love the fact that PSO allowed that of the PlayStation version of Phantasy Star Online 2 for the JP's version to be able to take those graphics and basically optimize them themselves. So players on a PlayStation version aren't locked to 60 or 30 frames or uncapped. What they can do is they can actually play around with the graphics themselves via their own accounts, and that's so great because PlayStation games are normally, or any console game really, are normally locked to a certain quality, where they have to play in 60 frames or they have to play in 30 frames. And with the way games have been taking recently, since the PlayStation 5's release, we've been seeing more and more games add that optimization capability to their games, and that creates more accessibility for gamers to be able to play the way they want to play and be more comfortable. My experience on the PlayStation 4 was nothing bad, considering that I was able to adjust how I played. If I played in a game where it was just me and a boss, I was able to just heighten or turn up the graphics. And if I were playing in an area where there were more people, say if I was in a UQ and there was at least 12 people, I was able to lower the graphics. So having all of that at my disposal, even on PS5, and hopefully they add that to you guys on Xbox as well, because I didn't forget about you Xbox players. I hope that you have that accessibility so you can feel comfortable playing with the new update while also being able to enjoy your game. I know one of the biggest fears about having updates like this is that you'll be locked at 30 but the game will look gorgeous, or you'll have 60 frames but it'll be jumping in between 50 and 60 frames, which is not fun for anybody. All in all, I do have to say that the update is a definite 10 out of 10 for me. It's extremely worth it to wait until they finish optimizing it for what we have in the global server right now, and to continue on with this into New Genesis. It makes me more hype to see what's going on. This is my first piece of experience with anything related to New Genesis, as the reason why I haven't been doing as much content on New Genesis is because I do not want to watch New Genesis. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see streams, none of that. Considering the fact that if I do, I'm going to lose my hype for it because my brain's just going to start going back and forth on all the different things that may happen. So to contain my hype and make sure it's as pure as it ever is going to be, I don't see anything. So seeing this for the first time and just again having nothing but that pure joy in seeing what this game can do was definitely a good feeling, and I cannot wait for it to come to NA so you guys can see it too. But I'm definitely going to be playing my JP account more until this happens, while also still reaching into my NA account a lot. But This is definitely bringing me back to JP, and I'm loving every bit of it. So that's just what I wanted to say. I wanted to wrap up a little bit. That's my little TED talk for the evening. We will be doing another daily arts video tomorrow, and we're going to be talking more about the community of PSO2, and I'm going to kind of, you know, express myself on that one a bit. So be ready for some heated conversation. If you have anything to say about the or about the new graphic effects if you have anything to say about the new graphic effects, please be sure to put those down in the comments below. I would love to have this discussion with you guys, especially if you are worried about, you know, your old PCs or anything being able to run this new game. We can definitely talk about optimization choices and whatnot. And also, if you would like to support the channel, you can go ahead and subscribe down below, or you can follow me on Twitter or Twitch at King Cosma. I will check you all next time, Gil, for some more PSO2 love. Until next time, may your guiding light shine.